Good day. I am here to discuss or tackle about the introduction and fundamentals of electronic communication system. Blindfolded. Significance of communication. Module 1.1. So what is communication and why is it important to us? Communication is important because it's the way we exchange information. It is the way we convey our feelings, thoughts, ideas, and emotions to each other. And with this, we are able to understand each other. Mm, what are the two main barriers in communication? Two main barriers in communications are as follows. First is the language. People with different nationalities find it hard to communicate with each other because they speak different language. Second is distance. And of course, people that are very far away to each other find it or may it impossible to communicate to each other. So, so with this, mm, we humans develop different mediums or different ways to communicate with each other. Um, and first is the in the language we use the universal language, which is English, and about the distance we use electronical communication. So, what are the mediums that we use, or what are the ways to communicate? First is of course, the personal or the face to face, the telephone, the text messages, emails, video conferencing, prints, fax machines, and so on. Communication systems. There are three basic components of a communication system. First is the transmitter. The transmitter is a collection of electronic components and circuits which transmits data or converts data from electrical signals into a suitable signal to go over in a medium. Second is the communication channel. The communication channel is a medium which enables the data enables the flow of data or signal from the transmitter into the receiver. Third is the receiver. The receiver is a collection of electronic components and circuits which receives data from the medium and converts it back into a suitable form which humans can understand. So those were the basic components of a simple communication system. Mm, a transmitter or a transceiver is a device which is composed of incorporated circuits which that is able to send and receive signal. Sample of these are telephones, fax machines, handheld radios, and computers. And noise is an undesirable electronic signal which disrupt or disturb the flow of information and it goes over in a medium. Types of electronic communication. Electronic communications are classified whether they are one-way or two-way transmissions. First is the simplex. The simplex is a one-way transmission, meaning it can only transmit or only one party can just transmit information. Samples of these are the radios and the televisions. Second is the full duplex. Full duplex is a two-way type of transmission. It's an electronic communication which allows both parties talk and listen simultaneously. Example of these are the telephones. Third is the half duplex. Half duplex is an electronic communication which allows only one transmission at a time, meaning only one party can transmit information at a time. Example of these are the radios used by the military. Modulation and multiplexing. Modulation and multiplexing are electronic techniques used for transmitting information from one place to another. Modulation makes the signal more compatible to go over a single medium, and multiplexing allows one more than one signal to be transmitted over a single medium. And so we go to baseband transmission. Baseband transmission or baseband information can be set directly and unmodified over a single medium, and it can also modulate a carrier for transmission over a single medium. Mm. Broadband transmission. First, a carrier is a carrier is a high frequency signal that's modulated by audio, video, and data. And a high frequency and a radio frequency wave is a electronic signal that is able to travel long distances through space. Broadband transmission takes place when a carrier is modulated, amplified, and sent over into antenna. There are two most common methods in modulation. First is the AM, or known also as amplitude modulation, and the FM, that is also known as frequency modulation. Electromagnetic spectrum. The range of all electromagnetic signals encompassing all frequencies is called as, or referred as, this electromagnetic spectrum. Also, what is a frequency? Frequency is the number of cycles of a repetitive wave occur in a given period of time. It is measured in cycles per second, and its unit is hertz. On the other hand, wavelength is the distance that a wave traveled in a single cycle. That is also the distance of an electromagnetic wave traveled in a single cycle. It is also measured in meters. Let's go over to bandwidths. So what is a bandwidth? Bandwidth is that portion of electromagnetic spectrum occupied by a signal, and channel bandwidth is the range of frequencies required to transmit information. Spectrum management. So what is spectrum management? Spectrum management is the protocols and guidelines provided by countries to control spectrum use. While on the other hand, standards are specification and guidelines to ensure compatibility between transmitting and receiving equipment. Gain attenuation and decibels. Most circuits used in electronic communication are used to manipulate electronic signals to produce desired output. All signal processing circuits involve gain and attenuation. What is gain? Gain means amplification. It is the ratio of the circuit's input to its output. To calculate gain, we have to just simply divide the power divide the power input to its power output. We go over to attenuation. Attenuation is or refers to the reduction of loss of a circuit or component. When a circuit's output signal is lower than the amplitude of the input, then the circuit has a loss or attenuation. To calculate attenuation, we just simply get the ratio of the voltage input, or the voltage output to its voltage into the voltage input. Um, Moving on, we go to decibels. What are decibels? Decibels are a unit of measure used to compute or calculate the loss or gain of a circuit. They were originally created to express hearing response. When attenuation and gain are both converted into decibels, attenuation and gain are computed by adding individual attenuation or gain expressed in decibel form. Fourier theory. One method used to determine the characteristic and performance of a communication circuit or system, specifically non-sine wave approach, is the Fourier analysis. The Fourier theory states that a non-sinusoidal waveform can be broken down into individual harm- harmonically related sine or cosine wave components. An example of this phenomenon is the square wave.